So I want to create a fusion component for avatars because currently I have a bunch of really ugly duplicated code that deals with animating and creating characters in viewport frames, and I want to make that in a component and not have it duplicated around the code base, and I want to make it work a lot better and deal with a bunch of the problems I was having. There's the rule of threes. Once you have something done 3 times, you should refactor that into its own thing. And it's been placed into 3 places. Now it's time to refactor that. First things first is, how do we have a humanoid model? Now, what I initially did, if you read the original code, is it waits for our character to spawn in, then it clones it, and then like does some stuff to clean it up. Now, that sucks. I don't want to have to rely on my character loading in, especially because if I'm R15 and I then try to view someone's weird Arthro character, it may not work correctly. Not all characters are the same. What if somebody's R6 and I try to load it based on the existing model of my character? So what I'm doing is, you may notice down here, I've planned... I looked into the APIs. Apparently, something exists for this. It's called create humanoid model from user ID, which is perfect. The only thing I don't like about it is if I run this, you'll see it creates the animate script for you, which we don't want. We're going to be animating it from our own component. This should not exist. We'll have it called avatar.lua, and then pop my fusion component thing in here. So what props will this need to have? Let's figure this out first. We're going to need to have user ID as a prop so that it knows who it should display. Probably a state for animation ID, what animation should currently be playing. And I think that's all for now. So if I just do props.userID here, then we're going to have a problem. Because that means if I change this, we don't get a different character. So the character should be a computed. That will allow us to change what the character is depending on the props.userID. So this will be a state, and if we change this state, thanks for the follow, if we change this state, then this will recompute and we'll get another character model out of it. Okay, so it's here. The thing is, where is that? That is not... It just places it in a random position. That's absurd. I have to set the C frame of this thing? Why does it not start at the origin? That's so dumb. So hopefully it won't be in the middle of nowhere. It's like 22 point something. What a strange, arbitrary place to put my model. Oh my gosh, thank you, Ha. See, this is why. This is why I like streaming. Because when I'm stupid, the people in the chat are smart. There we go, we have it. I accidentally copied a blank line and just lost my clipboard. With this, we can say like animations, some animation ID play. Although we should, of course, include a nil check. But the point is that if I just do this with any ID, it'll, by indexing this, it will make that track exist on this character. And then we can play it. And then if we call it again, it doesn't have to create a new one. Then it'll just play the default. But I feel like it might be better to just stop animating if it's invalid. Now, I feel like just reverting to default is probably a smoother user experience. They don't just see someone standing there like this when it's not working. They'll see something, even if it's not what it should have been. So, what next? That was surprisingly easy. That worked like right off the bat, basically. I just created this avatar component. Yeah, this was actually ridiculously simple. It's just a viewport frame with a world model on our character in it, and the character gets loaded from our state using a computed. God, I love Fusion. That's so clean. I love it. So what this will do is it'll open up our profile menu and then set a bunch of different IDs and see if they load in. Yes, it's working! No, it's not! Saw that coming. Aha, I saw a problem. It started to animate and then stopped. Y'all saw that? Like the Roblox character one went like all fancy for a second, and then when it changed, it popped. Why would that be? I know why. Because this, creating this character, yields, which means it happens second. So I started the animation on the first character, then the new character spawns in and it doesn't have the animation. You're really not supposed to yield in a computed for this exact reason. It completely screws up the reactive graph. Shoot. OnChange means that function gets called when the state inside the compat gets changed. I don't think I explained that well. Let me try to do better. This is saying that when character, this is a state object. When character changes, run animation. Right? When the animation ID changes, then call this function. And I broke something. Load animation requires the humanoid object to be a descendant of the game object. No! Why must you do this to me? So the problem is that this right here is happening before. Okay, so okay, I do not like this. This is so hard to handle in order. So when the character changes, we can't just blindly call run animation, because run animation will only work when the character model is already in our tree, and it's not yet, because the state change happens and then this happens on the next frame. So we have to defer it. I see, now it worked. Or did it? The answer is no, it did not. Oh, but it did now. How come it works sometimes? That's not fun. Oh, so it's working now. Guys, I didn't do anything, and it went from not working to working. That time it wasn't great. And there's no character at all, and it doesn't even print that it's loading him. What is happening? I'm losing my mind. What? I'm getting different problems each time I press run, even without changing anything. Is Roblox like servers having problem? The one day I streamed, I haven't streamed in months. I haven't streamed since like March, I think. And the one time I'm like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna stream what I'm working on today. Roblox is like, too bad. But here's the thing. The issues I'm having imply that my code does not properly handle network failures. Now, I could use this instead of, oh man, I guess I can't work today. I could, in theory, I could use this as an opportunity to say, okay, now that the network is failing, let's write code that handles that properly. Because this is a test environment that would normally require tooling and network spoofing, and I could see this. This is silver lining here. I could work with this, right? I could figure out how to use this for networking instead of torture. Yeah, but that sucks. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Roblox being down is just making me lose my mind. I really shouldn't work while Roblox is down. Hey! Guys, that worked. Nothing changed, but it worked. Did y'all see that? It was said loading, then it loaded the text, and then a moment later, after the web request came through, it loaded in the character and started animating it. So I think my code is working. I think I've just been ripping my hair out and torturing myself because Roblox is down. I think that we've accomplished what we wanted to, and that now it's time to solve... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, I just have to implement the avatar place elsewhere. You know what? We're good. We're good. We got it. We're happy. It's working. Wonderful. What we now need to do is the next thing on our list. Performance, it works okay. It stops when it needs to. Implement our avatar component into profile is now done. So let's get settings. Come on, Roblox. I believe in you. You can load. We have a problem here, ladies and gents. And I know what the problem is. I think. If it's not Roblox. See, the thing is, I'm passing in a state with this, right? Now, this never changes. The problem is, we load it when it changes. Because it never changes, we're kind of screwed. So we're going to have to create a little function here. And that'll be this. And so we're going to make it happen on change, but also just happen initially. But we still have to deal with Roblox being half down. That's a problem. Why is that funky? That makes no sense. There's no way like the text service is down, right? I've never seen that problem before. But we did load our character. Get humanoid model from user ID failed because yeah, okay, Roblox is down. I can't work on this right now. That looks implemented to me. I don't know what else to say. What's the last place I needed to implement it? Quest. Okay, and then Quest has its own problem. The Quest problem's going to be worse by the fact that Roblox is broken right now. I don't know if I want to tackle that one. But should at least implement it into Quest. Is that even the problem? One way to find out. The answer is yes. And it made things worse. Or did it? What? Why is this printing continuously? What is happening? Why is it doing work? Oh, maybe it's walk animation, not run animation. If that's the problem, I'm going to be annoyed. I mean, sort of was the problem. Why is get cell content being called so much? That's the real question. Could it be run animation, perchance? Yes! Yes, we're making progress. Every time it renders, it tries to do run animation, which triggers a re-render, which tries to do run animation, which triggers... Yeah, you get it. Okay, the question is, why? It's dependent on our animation thing. So I was right. Okay, so I'm right about the fact that it's depending on animation. The question still remains, why? All I've done so far is confirm that I know what, but I don't know why, and therefore don't know how to fix it. This sucks. Oh no, I crashed. Forgive me. Guys, I broke Roblox. It's dead. It's just straight dead. Okay, well, it's a good thing all my work is in VS Code, so I don't actually lose anything. I just have to close the program. We're back in business. It's back up. Nothing happened. Nothing to see here. I didn't break everything. See, remember before this calligraphy? I swear to God, if you like go back maybe like an hour, I don't know how long I've been streaming. That's a problem. Why is that funky? That makes no sense. That calligraphy wasn't lined up right, and I was like, there's no way text service is down. Well, it was. And our animator works for these frames. So we know that, like, it's not the animation code that's wrong. Something is very wrong here. And I don't want to deal with it. We got a lot done. We made the component works. We implemented it into 2 nice places. That works. It's just this one spot right here that is not working. We worked even when Roblox didn't. Okay, we've been doing fantastic. This was a productive stream. We got a lot done. Maybe not as much as I would have liked. Maybe not as fast as I would have liked, given the situation. But all in all, I think we can call this mostly successful. But it feels bad not to be able to check off all the things here. Right? If we just yoink that off, and then... God, I can't type! Then we've accomplished quite a bit, haven't we? Look, we did do a lot. We didn't get to do Quest, because Quest is absurdly overcomplicated. This one component page is 459 lines of code, which implies that I should probably be breaking this up. Yeah, I should break this up. I should break it so that the Quest board is separate from the workspace component as a whole. So, for our next stream, which will be who knows when, we're gonna have it be this. That'll be our next stream. Yeah, I think we'll call it here. Thanks for coming by. I'll see you at the next one.